Good afternoon and welcome to our webcast on using indicators to invest in stocks. Just the latest in a series of live events produced by TraderPlanet in collaboration with well-known industry speakers. Today is Thursday, June 24th. Thanks for spending part of your afternoon with us today. This is Darrell, your host for today's session, featuring Darrell Jobman, a senior analyst for TraderPlanet.com. Today's webcast takes place at a specific date and time, and therefore any opinion given by our presenter may change without notice at any time. Trading involves substantial risk of loss and therefore may not be suitable for all investors, and past performance is not indicative of future results. We are recording this webcast and it will be posted on Trader Planet, so you will be able to review the material at a later time. You will also find previously recorded webcasts among our other free member education resources within our site at www.TraderPlanet.com. As one of our more revered presenters, Darrell Jobman trades his own personal account and has been involved in the financial markets for more than 40 years. A decorated Vietnam War veteran, he was a newspaper farm editor and editor of several agricultural publications before becoming an editor of Futures Magazine for more than 15 years. He has written and edited more than a dozen books and courses on trading. While his passion is helping others succeed by teaching the do's and don'ts of trading, his editorial contributions to Trader Planet have really allowed him to take this objective to a whole new level. We're delighted to have him with us today. Let's give a warm welcome to our friend, Darrell Jobman.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Darla. We want to do, first of all, an audio check. I've had a couple of issues here with audio today, and you may experience that as well when you are listening to this. So I'd like to do an audio check to make sure that what I am saying is hopefully coming through somewhat clear. There's a little man at the lower left of your screen, has his hand raised, and through check mark there saying I agree. Okay, looks like some audio coming through, but as I said, there may be some audio issues as we go through. We've had some weather issues up here in Wisconsin, some stormy weather, and I don't know if that's a factor or not, but potentially could be. So we'll do the best we can on the audio, and hopefully everything makes it through okay. Also need to talk a little bit about some other housekeeping items. First of all, the data that we are using for the charts, the Vantage Point charts that we're using, is provided by CRB. There's a question box down in the lower left corner. If there are any questions that anybody has, you can always write a question there. I'll talk to you or try to answer those questions at the end of the presentation. And when we do get to the charts, whether you are watching it live or in the archives, you may want to put it on full screen mode so you can see a little bit better some of those chart points that we're going to be talking about as we go along. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is investing in stocks. Now this might be a little different than what you see. I am not Jim Cramer. I am not some of the other buy, sell, hold type talking heads that you see on CNBC and elsewhere. What I'm going to be looking at is more of a strategy when you determine what that stock is going to be that you're looking at than a stock itself. As you know, when you invest in stocks, you need to have several components that have to come together for successful investing. You have to have the right kind of social mood. Some claim the social mood is more important than anything in determining what happens to markets and what people are thinking and what they do. But clearly, you know, we are not in a tech bubble at this moment. We're not in a housing bubble. We don't have something that's of a euphoric type of a mood to kind of buoy up the markets. Instead, what we really have going for us are a lot of factors that look rather grim right now, to say the least, and much of that is due to what we talk about with the economic environment, kind of a sour economic environment with issues that are going on in Europe, kind of the up-down things related to some of the debt there with Greece and the other countries. We have issues in the United States with jobless numbers, and foreclosures are still a factor that we're dealing with. A lot of debt all around, including huge debts by the government. So there are a lot of things that, this is probably not a time to be very optimistic about those things, about bearing on stocks and being a positive for potential growth in stock values. But we have what we have, and so we need to deal with the market as it is. We are not going to be able to control those things anyway. Then we don't know which sector is going to do best. You look at some of the markets and you'll say, well, this one has potential, but I don't know which sector is going to do the best. We can make a case for a number of sectors that are traded either via mutual funds or ETFs or some other way, or if you're trading individual stocks, you may be looking at them sector by sector. We now, with the ETFs, have more choices than ever before. So how to choose that sector, that's a challenge for you. And then the dilemma that is even bigger, I think, within that sector is finding the right stock within the right sector. Like the healthcare sector, which stocks will do well? The biotechs, there's talk there that they're going to be a promising future for them, but which one of those stocks is going to do well? Or in energy, or in agriculture. A lot of these areas, a lot of these sectors have some promise, but you have to have the right stock. You have to have the stock that's going to have some positive earnings, the ones that don't have huge debt issues facing them. There's also that issue of the accounting and the forward-looking statements that we get from the leaders, and as to whether you can rely on them, how much factual information is there, how much is just kind of made up of fluff. A lot of different issues that go on with individual stocks. Unfortunately, that's not my forte. As I say, I am not a person who's going to be able to pick a stock that's going to be a winner and put it, some penny stock on the internet and say this is a sure thing stock that's going to make you rich. But we are going to look at a strategy. We're going to try to find a strategy that helps us forecast the short-term price direction, and we're going to try to, from that direction, find the indicators that might help us get on board when there is that kind of a move that could potentially be profitable for us. Now, to do all that, we need some help. The software that I use is Vantage Point Intermarket Analysis software. With all this other news developments that's going on and the stuff that you hear on the news and all the political and economic events that are taking place, we kind of have a sense, even if you look at the broad picture of the market where it's going, but we don't have any specific prices. We don't have any real clue as to where to get on, where to get out. So we need some help from software